You've probably stood in the laundry aisle staring at 6 different bottles, one for whites, one for stains, one for smell. Wondering when doing laundry started needing a whole shopping cart, and in your bathroom, that same ring around the toilet bowl keeps coming back no matter how hard you scrub it. Here's what nobody tells you. One $4 box used to handle all of it, including the bathroom trick companies still charge $12 a bottle for. That one's coming up fourth, so stay with me. Not because you were doing anything wrong. Because for most of the last century, one plain mineral quietly did the job that a dozen specialized products do today. And somewhere along the way, that got buried. Borax, sodium borate, is a natural mineral mined straight out of dry lake beds, mostly from one valley in California. Dissolve it in water, and it does something most bottled cleaners were never designed to do. It raises the water's pH. That single change matters more than it sounds like it should. Here's why. Soap and detergent only work as well as the water lets them. Hard water, water loaded with dissolved calcium and magnesium, blocks soap from foaming properly and rinsing clean. That's the actual reason behind 3 things you've probably blamed on separate problems. The dull film on your glasses, the soap scum creeping across your shower tile, and the ring around your toilet that reappears no matter how hard you scrub it. All 3 are the same mineral buildup, just sitting in different rooms. Borax binds to those minerals almost like a natural water softener, so whatever soap or detergent you're already using suddenly works the way it was designed to. At the same time, that same alkaline mineral resists mold and mildew and neutralizes odor at the source instead of masking it with fragrance. One property, 4 different jobs. That's the part that never made it onto a bottle label, because one ingredient at $4, quietly outperforming 6 specialized ones, was never going to be the pitch for selling you 6 specialized ones. Keep that one mechanism in mind, because every trick in this video comes back to it. Here's the thing. You've probably already walked past borax in the laundry aisle without realizing what it actually does, because the box hasn't changed in decades and nothing about it screams upgrade. Most people reach for scent boosters or oxygen cleaners to deal with dingy whites or towels that smell musty by the second day. But scent boosters only cover the smell. They don't touch the actual reason your detergent stopped performing the way it used to. Mineral buildup in your water quietly softening its power wash after wash. Add half a cup of borax to your regular wash right alongside your normal detergent. It works in both top load and front load machines. It raises the water's pH just enough that your detergents, enzymes, and surfactants can finally do the job they were designed for. Stains lift more completely instead of half fading. That musty towel smell, the kind that comes back a day after washing, no matter how long you dried them, disappears because you're neutralizing the odor-causing bacteria instead of perfuming over it. Whites come out visibly brighter within 2 or 3 washes without a drop of bleach. Now, here's what nobody tells you about the bathroom. You've probably scrubbed that toilet ring with a brush, then bleach, then maybe even a pumice stone, and watched it fade for a week before creeping right back. Not because you weren't scrubbing hard enough, because that ring isn't dirt, it's hard water mineral deposit, calcium and rust bonded directly to the porcelain, and bleach was never built to break a mineral bond. Bleach kills bacteria and lifts stains. That's a completely different job. Mix borax with just enough white vinegar to form a thick paste, coat the ring, and let it sit for 20 minutes before scrubbing. For rings that have been there for months, let the paste sit under a layer of plastic wrap overnight instead. It keeps the paste from drying out before it finishes breaking the mineral bond. The mineral binding property from a minute ago goes to work loosening the calcium, while the mild alkalinity lifts it cleanly off the porcelain. No scratching, no scouring pad required. The same paste handles bathtub rings and hard water spots on shower tile, which is exactly the $12 specialty Descalaire you were promised at the start of this video. Stay with me, Because here's the mistake that trips most people up: using cold water instead of warm. Borax needs warm water to dissolve fully. Mix it cold, and you get a gritty, half-dissolved paste that barely does anything, which is the actual reason some people insist this trick doesn't work. Warm water, full dissolve, full result. Get that one detail right, and a $4 box quietly replaces a bottle of Descolor that costs 3 times as much for a fraction of the amount. Speaking of things people assume don't work: grout lines. Most people assume dark stained grout is just permanent at this point, so they either grout over it or stop noticing it's there. That grime is almost always a mix of trapped soap residue and mildew feeding inside the porous surface, which happens to be exactly the two things borax was built to fight at the same time. Sprinkle borax straight onto a wet grout brush or an old toothbrush for tighter shower floor lines, and scrub in small circles before rinsing clean. Because the powder is both mildly abrasive and resistant to mold, it doesn't just lift the residue sitting on top of the grout. It makes the surface underneath inhospitable for the mildew trying to regrow there. That's the actual difference between grout that looks clean for one day and grout that stays clean for weeks. You're not just cleaning the surface, you're changing what can survive on it. And here's the part that connects to something in almost every home, whether your bathroom is spotless or not: the trash can. Nobody tells you that the smell coming from your trash can usually isn't the trash itself. It's the residue and moisture left behind on the plastic, which mold and bacteria treat as a permanent home. Air fresheners just add a second smell stacked on top of the first one, which is why the trick never actually works for long. Sprinkle a tablespoon of borax in the bottom of an empty trash can or a diaper pail before you put in a new liner. It absorbs the moisture mold needs to grow, keeps bacteria from taking hold on the plastic, and neutralizes odor instead of perfuming over it. The exact mechanism you already understand from the science earlier. Do this every single time you change the bag, and that sour smell that usually creeps back within 2 days simply stops showing up. Here's the thing about cloudy glasses. Most people assume their dishwasher is dying or their glassware is just getting old. It's actually the same hard water mineral problem sitting on your toilet, just landing somewhere you drink out of instead. Add 2 tablespoons of borax to your dishwasher's detergent compartment, right alongside your regular detergent. It softens the water mid-cycle, so mineral deposits stop bonding to glass in the first place, instead of building up load after load. Within 3 or 4 runs, glasses that looked permanently foggy come out actually clear. Silverware stops spotting the way it used to, and the white, chalky buildup along the dishwasher's own interior walls starts fading too. Now, for the bonus almost nobody thinks to try: your drains. Pour a 1/4 cup of borax down a slow bathroom or kitchen drain, follow it with a kettle of hot water, and let it sit 15 minutes before running the tap. It breaks down the same soap scum buildup lining the inside of the pipe that you just scrubbed off your tile, and it clears the musty smell that's actually coming from the drain itself, not the garbage disposal you keep blaming. Do this once a month, and the smell never gets the chance to build back up. The same box works sprinkled dry on a mattress or carpet, left for 30 minutes, then vacuumed up, pulling out trapped odor the exact same way it does inside a trash can. Add it up: laundry, toilet rings, bathtub stains, grout, trash cans, dishwashers, drains, mattresses. 8 jobs from one $4 box that lasts for months. What you're actually replacing is $30 or $40 in specialized sprays currently taking up space under your sink, most of which only do one of those 8 jobs at a time. To make this stick, keep a small jar of borax with a scoop right next to your laundry detergent, and another one under the bathroom sink, the 2 places you'll actually reach for it without digging through a cabinet. One thing worth remembering: borax is not the same as boric acid. Boric acid is the pest control powder used for ants and roaches. Borax is the laundry aisle mineral you've been using throughout this video. Keep either one away from small children and pets, exactly the way you would with any cleaning powder in your house. Stored dry in its box, borax doesn't expire, lose strength, or need replacing the way the specialty sprays do. The ones that end up half used and separating under your sink for years before you finally throw them out. It's sitting on the same laundry aisle shelf it's always been on, usually for less than the price of a single bottle of glass cleaner. Here's what's easy to forget. None of this is a new hack. For most of the last century, a box exactly like this sat under nearly every sink in America. It came out of Death Valley, one of the hottest, most remote places on the continent, where 20 mule teams hauled it 165 miles across open desert because no railroad reached that far. That's where the name on the box comes from, Doshi 20 Mule Team Borax. And the company built around it became famous enough to sponsor its own television show for decades. A show whose hosts over the years included a future president of the United States. One mineral did the job of a dozen products because it never actually needed reinventing. It just got repackaged, split into 6 different bottles, and sold back to you one job at a time, at several times the combined price. Somewhere between your grandmother's laundry room and the cleaning aisle you shop in now, a plain mineral that used to do everything got quietly replaced by an entire industry built on convincing you that one job needs one product. You're not discovering a trick here. You're remembering what cleaning looked like before that happened, back when one box under the sink was simply enough. 8 jobs, one $4 box. If this saved you a cabinet of sprays, subscribe for the next one.